Are you still surviving in law? Here's what's keeping you from thriving in it. Hi, and welcome to the Law Simplified, the world's largest independent online law school platform. I'm your instructor, Shaveen Bandad-Naik. Quite recently, I was approached by a student who is a professional in the management field and has been so for well over 10 years. Now in his late 40s, the question that he posed to me was something that I've heard time and again from my masterclass and fast-track students from all around the world. I have been in a particular vocation or a profession for a number of years. Is it A, too late for me to pivot to law? And B, is this a right decision to make? If you like the type of content that I make on this YouTube channel, as well as the different platforms the Law Simplified is disseminated on, do subscribe to the Law Simplified and leave a comment below, because I do go through all of your comments and suggestions to figure out what more that I can do on this platform and the different platforms that the Law Simplified is on to better provide you with both academic and professional guidance in the fraternity that is law. The answer I gave to this student was the same answer that I've been giving for the past 9 years while tutoring for students from all around the world. It's never too late to study law, and the most successful students that I've had are those that have either had a background in a different vocation prior to getting into law, or have subsequently done something separate and non-related to the law to broaden their horizons. And it's true for all of you as well. When studying law or when preparing to become a solicitor, a barrister, or a legal professional in whatever jurisdiction that you're currently in, it always benefits not just your career, but also your personal development to have an understanding and a qualification that is non-related to the law. I've often said to my fast-track and masterclass students how my very first degree, and by profession I'm a software engineer. My very first qualification is a BSc in computing, specializing in multimedia and game development. And I know personally how it impacted the way in which I saw the law and its application. For most of you who are familiar with my spider graphs and the case summaries, you'd know that the reason why it's made in that way was because I was used to, as a technical person, someone who's in the computing field, to flowcharts for procedural and algorithmic diagrams, something that helped me quantify what I was seeing as being subjective and qualitative in law. And I know that most of you have found it helpful primarily because you may yourself be coming in from a profession which is relatively technical. So the spider graphs have often been a bridging agent for most of you approaching law from a technical background. The reason I made this video is because I generally get this question quite often. There is a sense of apprehension, there is hesitation on the part of some great competent students that don't want to approach law because they are not sure whether it's going to be of value, A, whether they are able to understand it properly now having gone through a different procedure altogether, B, and C, and quite heartening, whether they can add value to the profession themselves coming into law. The answer to all three of these questions is oftentimes an overwhelming and resounding yes, primarily because being a professional in another non-related aspect in society adds significant value to a solicitor or a barrister from the perspective of a firm, if you so choose to work in that capacity, or even as a solo practitioner. Most of my students have gone on to governance, sometimes even arbitration, and implement procedures and techniques into society that you and I take for granted now. And that is entirely because they did not limit themselves to law or the legal fraternity. They have some other qualification or experience and exposure in areas non-related to the law. So, the next time that you as a professional think that it might be too late for you to do law, or someone who has just completed law thinking, what am I missing? Always know that law must never be done in isolation. It must not be enjoyed or practiced in isolation. The most successful among you are those that either supplement it with something else or take it above and beyond that which everyone else has done with this profession. That being said, until the next time that we meet, have fun, stay safe, and as always, obey the law.